We begin tonight with an Action 13 update to a story you only saw on this station last week. A Meyerland homeowner locked in a legal battle with strangers who'd moved into a rental home and would not leave.
That homeowner reached out to us and we got results. ABC 13's Maya Shea live in Meyerland with the resolution, Maya.
That's right. We were first told about this last Wednesday. On Thursday, we came and visited the house and we couldn't even get in because the locks had been changed. Well, today it's Monday. The locks have been changed back to something the homeowner can use, and at least in this case it seems we have a resolution.
Let's see what we find in here today.
Just last week, Linda Jiang couldn't get into the house she owns.
They locked me out of my own property. That's crazy.
But today, the people who had been living in her home were gone, and Jiang could once again open her own house door.
Yeah, they didn't change. Well, thank you for coming out here to do the story. I think that was a great help.
But getting here wasn't easy. Jiang says it appears the woman identified as Tamisha Holmes Bay had lived in the house with several others for almost a month. And when we saw her last week, she insisted she had a legitimate lease and is new to Texas.
I don't know what's going on. All I know is that me and my kids moved here to start a new life.
From where?
From California. I showed them the $6,000 I paid. I showed them the lease that was given to me. I showed them the keys that were given to me.
Okay.
So where I come from, I don't know. None of this stuff happens.
No,
So,
I looked at that lease. The lease has 4 people's names on it.
Yes, me, my husband, and my children.
I believe your husband has a warrant out for his arrest right now. Is that not the case?
That's nobody's business, and I don't know.
From
All
a
I know is that
2020?
you're violating my rights as American National Moore. I can contact the United Nations and have them say, y'all are violating my privacy.
No, the woman who owns this house told us that
I don't know
you
who
do
owns
not.
the house.
The
All I
lady
know
who
is-
came, Linda, who
I'm
came
not-
today, she has the keys. You guys changed
I
the
have
locks.
keys. I have the keys to this house. I was given
You
the
changed
keys
the
by a
locks over the
realtor.
weekend.
Ma'am.
It's
can
on
y'all
video.
Please leave me and my family alone. We paid $6,000.
Who did you pay the money to?
To a realtor. That
Who's the
signed
realtor?
lease. It's on the lease.
I've looked at the lease. The lease is not a legitimate lease.
I've looked at the lease and I signed the lease and I paid
Who
my
is
money.
the
so it's
person? That
legitimate.
person is not
You
a
seen the
realtor.
lease? You seen the lease?
That is not the owner
Ma'am,
of the house.
I'm going to end this conversation with you.
So you're
because I
basically
know I
trespassing.
no, I'm not trespassing. I have a lease and I paid $6,000.
The woman who owns this house says you're trespassing.
I made a police report. The cops say I'm not. They see my lease.
That's not a legitimate lease. Why are you living in a house that you don't have the right to live in?
I do have the right to live here because I have a lease.
From whom? The woman who
The
owns the
realtor.
house. What realtor?
There's plenty of realtors that's renting this house out. Why don't you go look?
Well, I've looked at it. Another lady wants to rent this house and they can't.
I'm gonna call the police on y'all. Thank you.
Why are you living in a house you're not authorized to live in?
I am authorized to live in it. I have a lease. I paid $6,000 to be here.
Who did
I
you
paid my
pay?
rent.
Because the woman who
Don't worry
owns
about
this
it. The
house
police have the
doesn't have it.
The police has the information, and you're harassing me and my family, and I will call the police on you. Thank you.
But public records show Holmes Bay has lived in Texas for decades and has been involved in civil and criminal cases in several Texas counties. A woman with her name had 3 evictions on record in Fort Bend County in the past 4 years. Veteran eviction attorney Brian Serwin says he's seen these situations increase in recent years.
We're seeing a rise in this kind of fraudulent documents, people breaking into nice homes and trying to squat there. We're seeing a rise over the past year of this. I've been doing this for 25 years. I can't say I've seen as much of it in years past.
Last week, Houston police said this was a civil matter, but over the weekend, police determined the lease was fake and told Holmes Bay her group needed to leave by Monday morning or face trespassing charges. It worked.
It was very frustrating having to deal with this, but now I'm happy that she's gone, and I'm hoping that legislators will do something and change the law to help protect homeowners rather than the squatters.
Jiang says until the laws change, she may get out of the rental home business altogether just to avoid another situation like this. In Houston, Maya Shea, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.